do the Democrats get away with the last 100 years of scheme of telling the voters that work for the working man at election time, and then they destroy coal mining, oil drilling, nuclear power, and all other sources of fuel and industrial fuel and transportation, heating fuel?
You know what the answer is to that? And I say it every time when I talk in groups like this. Whose fault is it? It's all of ours. Me too. It's all of our fault. You know, whether we like it or not, we need to stand up and remove somebody like John Bocherry. Look, you know, when we talk about tea parties, I always say, somebody says to me, well, are you involved with the tea parties? And I know you get tea party people say, well, I'm a guy who stood up, who didn't have to stand up. I've sold my business. I have done everything that I thought I should do to give back, but I'm standing up because I am sick and tired of just what you said. My family is Democrats. My grandfather would be rolling in his grave right now because what the Democratic Party is doing is wrong. And we need to remove them. We need to shift power back. You know what the best way we can do this? We need to balance Congress today. If I could ask any of it, this is so important. 40 seats to balance Congress. We don't need to take it back. It'd be great if we could. Let's just balance it so they can't just automatically do what they want to do. And I will tell you, this is one of the districts that can come back with the right person and the support of the National Republican Party, which you're going to have to take on the Democratic Party at the same time.
Are there any more real Democrats in Washington? Real Democrats.
The real Democrats would be the ones my grandfather knew. I doubt very much that there's any real Democrats left in Washington. I agree with you.
You mentioned earlier that you thought personal responsibility was important. How are you going to bring back personal responsibility?
Well, look, as people continue to put things back, here's a great example. In Congress today, number one issue is spending. I think we all can agree to that. So how do we fix the spending issue? Well, I'll tell you what I believe we should do. We should have a freeze on all spending except military spending, and then we should do a statutory. Congressman Pence right now is talking about a 20% statutory limit on 20% of GDP. That's going to cause personal responsibility. Because what happens is, once you freeze the big line, the top line, and all these programs have to start being more responsible, and then it goes back to the families, you're going to see personal responsibility starting to come in play. Because today we don't have that. I got to give you a personal story. I have a brother-in-law. He lost his job 3 or 4 months ago. He's not looking for a job. He's got 18 months of free unemployment. So what do you think he's doing? He's 63 years old. He thinks he deserves it. He's going to spend the next 13 months collecting unemployment. That's not personal responsibility. That's the kind of stuff that needs to be eliminated. And we need to get government to start spending less, eliminating some of these programs, and it'll come back. I believe earmarks should be 100% eliminated. The Republican Party has said they've already agreed to a 2-year elimination. I would be all in favor of that, except for one thing. I believe that any earmark that can help us with our national security, and it can be proven to create jobs. Look, I'm a business guy. You don't put an earmark out unless you can get a return on that. And let's face it, we have a submarine plant here in the district. You probably aren't aware of that. They need those earmarks because it employs about 100 people, and at the same time, it's giving us some of the strongest military that we have in this world. Those are the kind of earmarks. But if you ask for them, I believe you should put it up on the internet. You should be accountable for it, and everybody should know you're asking for it.
Thank you very much.
But in closing, again, I appreciate you taking the time. Thank you very much. I hope you can see the difference between myself and the other candidates, and I really appreciate your vote next May, Renacci, or next week, and actually it's next month. Renacci for Congress. Thank you very much for taking the time. I appreciate it.